with rugby sevens. It was just the greatest game ever. So, we started this in 2016, and like I said, I didn't really know what was going to happen. I just went out there with my friend's camera and hit record. I didn't know how to use a camera. I didn't know any of the players. I really didn't know what the heck I was doing. All I knew is that I loved rugby sevens and I wanted to capture it in action. Hello, this is Dustin Rosen with Rugby Sevens Magazine, and I wanted to tell you guys our story. So in 2016, I was at a campfire with some friends, and we were just talking about each other's interests and what we really enjoyed doing and what we were passionate about. And I had mentioned rugby sevens. We were like 2 months away from the Olympics, and I was really excited that rugby sevens was going to be in the Olympics. And my one friend mentioned to me, he said, "Hey, does anyone cover rugby sevens? Does anyone talk about rugby sevens? Are there any platforms that strictly focuses on rugby sevens, not just rugby in general?" And to be honest, I had no idea. At least in America, found absolutely nothing. And for the most part, in the entire world, there's really no platforms that focus specifically on rugby sevens. The only thing that I found was Ultimate Rugby Sevens, which is also doing just a fantastic job. Other than them, I didn't see anything specific that was focusing on rugby sevens. So I sat there and I talked with my friends and I said, I'm going to see what happens. I'm going to give this a shot. I'm just going to go out there and I'm going to start talking about rugby sevens. I really didn't know what I was going to do. I had no idea. I didn't even know how to use a camera. I borrowed my friend's camera the first year that we did this. All I knew was that I loved rugby sevens. I enjoyed the big hits. I enjoyed the side steps. I enjoyed just how much action is put into the game all at once and how you have so many close matches that you never know how it's going to happen. That's where we started down to the last second. You just never know what's going to happen in rugby sevens. There's so little room for error, and it's just the most exciting, best game that I've ever seen and been a part of my entire life. I was the guy that started playing rugby out in New York when I was in college, and I was the guy that I started with 15s, but once I found out about rugby sevens, I slowly merged away from 15s. As soon as sevens came rolling back around the corner and summer was starting, I was so fired up, I was so pumped up, and I was so excited to be a part of rugby sevens. And I showed back up to the pitch with practice. Hey guys, how's it going? Seven season around the corner, right? I'm here, baby. Let's play some sevens. And for about 8 years, I played rugby sevens. The majority of my time playing rugby sevens was in Texas, but I just had so much fun with rugby sevens. It was just the greatest game ever. So, we started this in 2016, and like I said, I didn't really know what was going to happen. I just went out there with my friend's camera and hit record. I didn't know how to use a camera. I didn't know any of the players. I really didn't know what the heck I was doing. All I knew is that I loved rugby sevens and I wanted to capture it in action. So Rugby Sevens Magazine was birthed in 2016, and we started posting a lot of highlights from the games that we went, from the tournaments that we went to, and we posted a lot of interviews with the players that we were talking to, and everything was going great. We were just kind of going out to some of these local tournaments, not really knowing what was going to happen, and then out of nowhere, we started to put the feelers out to see if we can go outside of New York, and all of a sudden, all these doors started opening up. So we ended up going to Barbados. That was our first international tournament. Got so much love for those guys, Rugby Barbados World 7. From that point right there, it just kind of hit me like, oh, wow, maybe we can do more than just in our local area. So we went to Barbados and we went to California, Tri-Tip Sevens, West Coast Sevens, New York Sevens. We started to venture out. We went to Colorado for the Club Sevens Championships, and Colorado for the Collegiate Sevens Championships, and Philly for the CRCs. And we just started to make our way around, and we just were capturing highlights everywhere that we went. And it was a really exciting time. The page started doing really well. We were getting a lot of views. We were getting a lot of followers. People were enjoying what we were doing. It was really encouraging to me that we were getting such a great response from the community on everything that we were doing. We continued on, and sure enough, we're getting random emails from Japan asking us to come out there. And we've been to Hawaii, we've been to Tahiti, we've been to Arizona, we've been really all across America and beyond, and it's just been so much fun. So now that we're in our third year, I started to really think a lot about what we were doing and where we were headed, and I wanted this to be more than just a rugby highlight, epicenter, if you would. That's been our main focus, just capturing a lot of Rugby Sevens highlights, and because I didn't really know what we were going to do. But as I got closer to the game, not just playing it, but from the outside looking in, and being around these tournaments and just seeing the brotherhood at an outside angle looking in, like looking at these teams and seeing the bond that these guys created, and like coming to just thinking about how much more trust that these players have to have for each other when they are out there on the pitch. Because there's not 15 guys now, there's 7 guys in Rugby Sevens. So the trust was just so much more that was needed to play a Rugby Sevens match. And I saw, because there was so little room for error, and that these guys needed to trust each other and girls needed to trust each other at such a deeper level, I saw just a closeness start to form between them in a personal level, like the friendships, the brotherhood, the sisterhood, just how close these players got to each other was so remarkable to me. And I was so drawn to seeing that in action from the angle that I saw it at. And I started to really think outside the box and see like how life translates to Rugby Sevens in so many different ways. Like there's just so many things that are going on in life that could be transferred to the Rugby Sevens pitch. And I just believe that the Rugby Sevens game itself is just the most beautiful game in the world. I believe that it breaks down walls within ourselves and with others when we can get out there and play together and form those off the field relationships. And I've just never seen anything like it in my life. The action is one thing, but now to see just more about the life that it represents, the Sevens life. If you've followed us over the last 3 years, you've seen that we've done some things called Sevens Life Lesson of the Day, and I really want to start talking more on camera to you guys about life and how that translates to Sevens as we continue to move forward. We're excited. We have a global vision, and we just expect just tremendous, huge things. We believe that this is going to impact people in so many different ways, and we're just so excited for the future. We just see kids, young kids all across the world with, drug issues and family issues and school issues and just life issues. And we feel like if we could be a platform to encourage those people along and to be like a life-giving platform to them, to just not only about Rugby Sevens, but about life as well, we want to be able to do that. I hope that you continue to follow along with everything that we're doing and stay close to everything that we're doing. And if you don't want to, you don't want to. If you do, you do. Great. But we're going to be talking about the Sevens life a lot more. So get ready. I'm excited for what's to come. I just never expected anything like this in my entire life. As a little boy just growing up that always wanted to be a part of something in the sports world. I never thought it was going to happen. And then when we started this and it just started going and going and going and going and going and going and going, like it's just been blessing, and I've never expected anything like this to happen in my life. But now we're here, and it's only the beginning stages, and we're building the foundation now, and there's just so much more to come. So the Sevens life, baby, global growth of rugby sevens is coming at you from this platform, and we're excited for the future, and we're excited to also bring in you to be a part of it. As we continue to get bigger and bigger and bigger, we're going to need people like you to be a part of Rugby Sevens magazine, because this is not a one-man show. It can't be a one-man show. If we're going to do a big thing, it needs to be more than one person. So I'm excited, and we'll see how this thing goes in this next year. So thanks for riding with us. Rugby Sevens magazine, Dustin Rosen, down to the last second, Sevens life. Let's go, baby.